what's up everybody? This is Dark Hour. Welcome to another video. We're going to go ahead and look at other ways to make money. And probably the elephant in the room, and the one thing I haven't covered yet is cargo. Commodities trading and cargo running. This is probably the most frustrating way to make money, but it can be profitable. It's all going to depend on what ship you're using and how much risk you're willing to take, because obviously you have to put your AUEC up front and put that at risk. You always have the possibility of pirates or bandits trying to take your ship or destroy you, but your biggest enemy here is the 30K. Just as a good example, just getting in here and getting to this point so that I could start recording this for you, I 30K'd. Thankfully, I had no cargo. Hey, what the? Watch where you're going. Hey, so anyways, when you are cargo running and doing commodities, you're using your own ship to go to an outpost to buy commodities and transport it to another location to sell, in which point you will make a profit. There's a lot of different ways to do this. One of the best tools to use is the website Gallog, Gallog.co. This is where you can look up the buying and selling price of all the different commodities, the locations they're available, and in what quantities you can buy them. You're not going to be able to take your ship and just fill it up completely with anything that you want. There are stock supplies and demand that you have to work with to maximize your profits. The other thing you want to keep in mind here is the best situation for you is to make the shortest run possible. The longer run you have, the more time there is for you possibly to have a 30K and to lose everything. I have actually lost numerous times. I think the most I've ever lost was about 750,000 AUEC. I've lost 500,000 multiple times, and believe me, it hurts. Because you just have to turn around and start grinding to earn it back up there. Now, to start doing this, you really don't have to have a caterpillar, but obviously a caterpillar is going to maximize how much you can make. You can do some small cargo running with the Cutlass Black. Usually I would not want to start with anything smaller than the Freelancer Max, but you can also use the Carrack. The Carrack is actually only a little bit smaller than what the Caterpillar gives. He's in a hurry. Alright. So again, you have to put your own money up front. What the? Stop bumping into me, people. You do have to put your own money up front, so therefore you're risking losing all of it. If you don't get landed onto a pad and offload before the 30K, it's just gone. And again, it hurts. So here we are in Everest. I'm going to do one of the common routes that I use that will also mean one of the shorter routes. And that way we can get the stuff, get out, and get our money as quick as possible. Alright, so I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to go ahead and use the Caterpillar, just because I don't currently have a Freelancer Max. And we will pull that out here. And hangar 4. Alright, let's head up to the hangar. The route we're actually going to do today is going to be going over to Ariel. We're going to hit Bezdek, and then we're also going to hit Lathan, and then we're going to offload in Lorville. Let's see, hangar. There's a lot of different things that you can trade, from legal commodities, low-cost commodities, to high-cost. And even with the widow and the illegal things, those are the most profitable, but they also require the most amount of time, because you can only buy in smaller quantities and you can sell in even smaller quantities than that. So if you have a Freelancer Max and you fill it up with widow, you go to sell it, and you could be looking at needing to spend an hour or more at the terminal to sell as the demand refreshes itself. That's not what we want to do, because money versus time, the legal stuff actually gives you a higher profit for the time involved. Now, if you got time to kill and you want to do that, by all means, go right ahead. Most of the places where you get the illegal items and a lot of places where you end up selling it are not stations with landing pads that will store your ship. So you end up, if you have a 30K and you're on the ground at a stash house or something like that, well, you just lose whatever you haven't been able to sell. Okay, we're going to get in here. Start this thing up.
Hello and welcome aboard your Drake interplanetary craft.
Let's get the doors
Your
open.
systems are online.
Another big aspect of cargo running is you have to be careful of what you're doing with your ship. You don't want to land at the places where you're buying, leaving the elevator or the door down, because there are people that like the pirate gameplay. They will come and steal your ship. And they will take it, they will try to ransom it, they will try to do a lot of different things. So always make sure your ship is locked and always make sure the door is closed. Okay. Gonna lift off here.
Launch complete. Landing complete. Launch complete.
Get landing gear up.
Landing gear.
And we bumped the station. Ah, God dang
Weapons
it.
system destroyed.
And I just lost weapons. Alright, so let's go in here and we're going to set course for aerial. Now I'm in the live universe right now, so I am
Thank you. And please
technically putting my AUEC on the line to make this video, and you know, it is what it is. Hopefully it'll work out and this will be a good video for everybody. Doing this in the PTU is kind of pointless because they do give you 15 million right off the bat. And when the PTU is out, the trading terminals are not always operational. If it's not a focus that they're trying to work bugs out on or anything like that, they're not always going to work right. Alright, let's see. There's Ariel. I'm going to shoot over this way. Again, the nice thing about this is it is a very short trip. Quick in and out, and
Quantum drive is
if
now
luck is on your side and you don't get the 30Ks, it can be profitable. Again, I'm using a Caterpillar. You can do this with a Freelancer Max, which the benefit of that is it's even quicker because it fills up faster. What we're going to do here is we're just going to grab items that we're going to grab as many as we can at the time, and then grab something else to go along with it. Where is Bezdek? Come on, Bezdek. There it is. Usually I'll hit Bezdek first because I'll grab Laranite from there, and then I'll go over and get a load of Laranite and titanium from Lathan.
Quantum drive is now on.
Now, there have been times in the past where pirates are camping out at these areas. Those have been more when glitches have been in the game and the limits on how much you could buy at one time were removed. But for the most part, these are fairly quiet areas.
Quantum drive is now off.
We're just going to use our quantum to keep our eye on Bezdek. This bright yellow ball. Places that you can sell stuff are going to be Arcorp, Area 18 at the TDD. You can go to Loreville here and sell stuff at the trading area over in the central branch. You can do some trading on Port Olisar. The key thing to remember is not every location buys every commodity. So use galog.co to see where you can sell and maximize your profits, because they don't all pay the same amount for what you're selling. Some places will buy it at a higher cost, some places will buy it at a lower cost, so that will affect your profits. And the same goes for where you're buying it from. If I buy a Bezdek, it's not necessarily going to be the same price as what is on a moon out at ArcCorp, or even a Lathan, which is on the same moon. So you have to use that website to see what the current commodity prices are, and they do fluctuate just like any economy. All right. Beautiful shot of aerial coming over the hilltops. Details amazing, but very, very yellow. Should be coming up here shortly. There it is. We're going to check our radar, just make sure we got nobody else in there. It looks like we're clear. Now here at Bezdek, the selling terminal is on that center hut on the right. So we're going to just take either one of these pads and we'll be about the same distance away from it. Alright, and we have touched down. I always leave the ship running. I know we're in the armistice zone. Sometimes when you pick up commodities, there is no armistice zone, but leaving the ship up will keep the shields going. Come on. Make our way through the engine room. Also, while we're on our way out, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, give us a like, and make sure to leave a comment. If you leave a comment through the month of November, it enters you for the chance to win the Gray Cat Rock. That's going to be awarded on December 1st. Also, don't forget, we are looking for people to join our org, Amarok's Fang. You can find us in the organization listing or on the link that's on this video down below. We are welcoming everybody to join. As always, no furries. We just, no, not going to happen. And also follow on Twitch. We definitely appreciate any support anybody can give, and we will try to make any content that we can that will help people out. Also, feel free to leave a comment with what you'd like to see, because we can definitely do tutorials or videos of different things that you'd like to see going on, and we're always happy to help people out anywhere in the verse. So here we are at the trading terminal. We're first going to select our ship, the Caterpillar. Again, we're going to get this Laranite because this is the most profitable thing here. We're going to be slightly limited on how much we can get, so we will purchase everything possible. And as you can see, that's costing me 243,000 AUEC. Good point here, when you hit get it, wait until this number changes here, because I've left and that number hasn't updated and found out there was nothing in my ship and my money was gone. So always wait till that reflects what you just purchased. So we have that Laranite, so we're going to go back out to the Caterpillar and we're going to make our way over to Lathan. Maximizing our Laranite is also going to maximize our profit because it's the most profitable thing here. Some other things that are fairly profitable is I've done astatine, agricium. Those are going to be available out on Daymar and Yella. They're much lower cost and profit per unit, but you can buy much higher quantities for the amount of money that you're spending. And of course, always remember you're limited by the size of the ship. I mean, generally I got into this once I had a Freelancer Max. That actually was able to earn me some decent profit The Cutlass Black is good for the small size loads that you can do. Another thing you can do is use those FPS missions, the bounty missions, and the delivery missions to build up your AUEC so you can start doing this. But one way that is not the most profitable, but a good way to build up with a quick run is doing the scrap run between Port Olisar and CRUL1. There's no limits on selling or buying, so it gets you some decent profits really quick. A full load in a Caterpillar will net you about 25,000 typically. Now, if you don't have a Caterpillar in your hangar, you can buy one from Teach's Spaceport out at Levski. I think they run just over 3 million AUEC. And then as far as rentals go, there is no rental for the Caterpillar. So your only options is to buy it in game or buy it through a pledge. All right, let's get airborne here. Let's hit a OM and then we'll come back down to Levski. Now, typically you don't have to come all the way out to an OM to go to another location, but historically I do it just because of the fact that I tend to get it blown up if I try to fly through the planet. It doesn't necessarily navigate me around very well, so I find I have better luck if I come all the way out to an OM first. And here we go into Lathan.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
We're going to use our quantum again just to help us zero in on Lathan. At least it's nighttime on this side, so it helps us see the HUD a little bit better. Just remember, you don't want to descend too fast, just because that whole crashing into the planet or the moon is never fun, especially when you have cargo on board. I usually try to stay above 2,000 meters off the deck until I get a little bit closer, and then I try to just bring it down slow. Usually when I get to this point is when I'll start slowing down and start bringing it in. Usually right around here I'll go into third person view just to have a better view, be able to see the lights of the station sooner. As you can see, they're right there ahead of us. Biggest thing with nighttime is you got to watch those hills and mountains. Watch your altitude. I've got the headlights on, but they're not always very effective. There's our lights there. should be able to be safe down above, just above 1,300 feet. And there she is. Now on Lathan, I'll usually bring it over here to the smaller pad since the trading terminal is right on it. Or at least right in one of the huts right off to the side of it. Alright, so here we are. Probably the whole most nerve-wracking part of this is going into Hurston. Make sure if you haven't gone into Loreville, you understand how the flight paths and the flight rings work, because it can be bad if you get outside of those and the autopilot takes over and destroys you. So you want to make sure you understand the path that you're taking when you're pulling into Hurston if you're still fairly new at this. So our trading terminal is right over here in this building. For the most part, you want to look for the one with the orange lights. And again, we made sure we closed the elevator and the Caterpillar is locked so nobody who's not in my party can access it. And there's our trading terminal. And again, we're going to select our ship. Seriously. Alright, so this happens sometimes, there's nothing there. One of two things, either it's glitched and it's never going to pop up, or you have to wait a server cycle to see if it does eventually pop up. If it doesn't pop up at all, you're kind of SOL and you just got to deal with not grabbing anything while you're here. And again, this plays into the whole amount of time that you're spending and the risk of the 30K. That right there is not a sign of a 30K. It's just a sign of a glitched trading terminal, which unfortunately is a pain in the backside.
Something I can help you with?
Nah, just waiting for your terminal. It's broken. You need to make it work.
I think you're confused.
No, I'm not. Your crap's broken. Exit out. Give it a couple more minutes here, which is usually a couple more minutes than I like to. You want to make sure you keep your eye out for any ships coming in or any engine sounds that you might hear. Could be signs of somebody come in that may be hostile. Well, if we can't get anything here, then may go back to Bezdek because we could at least get titanium there. And by the time we get back there, we might be able to get another load of laranite. Though it probably won't be the same amount that we got the last time because the stock builds up at a specific rate based on its location. Give it just another short minute. Okay, so let's just go back to Bezdek. Really don't want to go back with as little stuff as what I have right now. Usually what I would fill up there is, again, another load of laranite, whatever max they have, and then top off with titanium. Typically doing that, you're mostly going to have titanium, but the laranite's going to be the most profitable. Alright. This is where I start to get nervous when things like this go on, because it just means that I'm out here that much longer when I could already be on my way back to Hurston. Another decent run I'll do. It's not quite as profitable, and you usually end up having to wait a little longer to get more than one fill on some commodities. Is I will do
Landing gear.
Yella, Area 157, and grab astatine, and then go to Daymar 141 to grab as much greasium as possible, sometimes waiting a full cycle to grab a second amount as it stocks up. That run takes a little bit longer, the benefit being that when you quantum off the planet, you're going directly to Olisar, which as soon as you quantum out of Olisar, you're already ready and prepared to land. Where obviously with Hurston, you got a much longer landing procedure.
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
Of course, Olisar has other issues all of its own with pad ramming and things like that. Alright, so let's see if we can find Bezdek again.
Quantum drive is now on.
Yeah, looks like
Quantum
we got
drive
a
is now off.
sunset coming up. Hopefully some of that laranite has replenished since we were last here. Oh, looks like we've got some kind of target up there. It's a Valkyrie. And they may be doing a small cargo run. Right now they're not a red target, so...
Landing gear down.
Looks like somebody's pinging. Looks like he's airborne. That's a Carrick. Looks like he's taken off though, so we should be fine. So it wasn't a Valkyrie, it was a Carrick. Let's go see what we can get. And make sure we close the elevator. Grab that, if it'll allow us. Make sure that number changes, and then we will top off with titanium. So all in all, we've probably spent about 875,000 of our own money. And that reads 0. Now let's go sell. And then we're going to hightail it for Lorville.
Launch complete. Landing gear up.
Usually on aerial, you got to be over 3,000 meters in order to quantum. We're just going to get out to an OM so we can zone in on Hurston. Set our route there. about finding Lorville now. Probably going to be in the bottom area. There it is, home plate.
Quantum drive is now on.
Alright, we're on our way in. Don't put me through the planet, please.
Quantum drive is now off.
Alright, let's see where we're at. Oh yes, it brought us right out over top. I'll usually set this one for communication so I can see when it's within range. This should have us close to where the landing rings are. Want to make sure
Landing
we keep some
gear
elevation.
down.
Turn off that chat because people love to talk about 30Ks incoming when they really aren't. That just gets on my nerve because everybody thinks 30Ks are always coming. In all honesty, compared to a year ago, it's nowhere near as bad as what it used to be, but it still happens. Okay, so that's the flash that tells me that Lorville's here.
Please proceed to assigned
Landing
landing
spot and look for our flight lanes. There they are. So we're going to just adjust. Keep in mind when you're coming into Lorville here, you want to be inside those rings. If you go outside of them, the autopilot will engage and it doesn't always end well. There's still many times I hear about people getting thrown out into buildings or thrown down into the ground, or it just inadvertently just explodes for no reason. It's technically supposed to bring you back into safe area and then allow you to adjust from there. So you're just going to center up. Now one trick with Lorville, and I hope they fix it in 3.11.1, is after getting through these rings, it's supposed to automatically show you your hangar. Most of the time, it doesn't show the hangar. I have to call for a hangar again, and then it'll pop up. So I want to keep moving forward and just keep ourselves centered. And there we go. We're almost through. And we are through, so now we'll call for a hangar again. It'll tell us that we've already been given one, and it should pop up the icon. There it is
Request
there.
has already been granted.
Okay, there's our hangar. So at this point, I usually prefer going into third person. And as you can see, it's closing on us. Which means we have to call again. And they will reopen, and I usually do an over the top. Should reopen here as soon as we get there. The other bad thing about Lorville is the wind. The wind is always going to be a problem here. So you just got to kind of gently nudge your ship. Turn the lights on here. Just really got to work on centering it and just keeping it there. Do your best. As you can see, I bumped. Auto land won't be usable till you get down inside the hangar, and by that time you're out of the wind. So, and we are down, safe. And at this point, if we 30K, it's not going to affect anything because this counts as a landing, and it has saved our ship here. Stupid doors. All right, so now we're going to go to the Central Business District, and we're going to go ahead and sell this. Here, not so much. You don't really have to worry about closing the door because nobody can get the hangar open except for somebody in your party. Spaceport. Now keep in mind the IAE 2950 Expo is coming up. Once that comes up, we'll be doing daily recordings from the show, showing some of the ships on display as well as some of the new ships. I am an owner of a Mercury Star Runner, so we'll definitely be doing a walkthrough on that ship and test flight. And we'll probably even be able to get that done early because word is that the Mercury Star Runner will be coming to the PTU before the release to 311.1. We'll also be looking at the Nomad as well as all the other ships that are going to be available. So we're just going to hop on this train. We're going to go to the Central Business District. I apologize for all the noise my dogs are making. They've been cooped up all day. And they're kind of being little jerks right now. But again, don't forget, give us a subscribe, comment on any one of the videos, and you'll be automatically entered in to win the Grey Cat Rock on December 1st, a $50 value. We'll be using the comments and also the people that follow on Twitter as their entry. Also, check me out on Twitter at DarkHour717. The link will be in the description. And join both places and you get 2 entries. So we'll be awarding that December 1st. And if you already have a Grey Cat Rock, you can get a second one, or you can always melt it and use it towards something else. So So just a little way to say thank you for the support everybody's been giving. As I continue on with this channel, I really like to also continue doing giveaways every so often, you know, every month or two, every couple months. And right now, kind of limited by, you know, what I can do, but if things can grow and get bigger, then we can look at doing some bigger giveaways. So if you have ideas of sub $100 giveaways that you'd like to see, throw a comment in there with your suggestions and we'll look at them and we'll draw one of the suggestions as the next giveaway. Again, something under $100. And we will probably look at doing the next giveaway sometime in January. Not sure if I'll run it for an entire month or if we'll run it for a 2-week period. But put comments in, give us some suggestions, and we will pick one of the suggestions as to what we will give away. So we're just going to go over here to the terminals. And we want to go to the Sell tab. Again, select our ship. As you can see, we got full load here. We're going to sell the titanium first. Nice, decent little profit. Okay, and then we're going to sell our laranite. Now again, this is not going to make you hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. This has actually netted me, oh, let me rephrase that. Actually, with the double load of laranite, I did do much better. I was at about 1.13. I am now at 1.25. So about $120,000, almost 125. So a nice little profit for, we've been recording now for about 45 minutes, and that was with a 2 back and forth to Bezdek, but not bad for that amount of time of work, about equal to what we do with a good load with the Prospector. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy this recording. Keep in mind, this is the most risky. This is where you could end up losing quite a bit of money because of 30Ks, pirates, bandits, or, you know, loss of ship in some way, shape, or form. So do this at your own risk, because believe me, I have lost millions doing this, but it can also be very profitable. So thank you again for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. Remember, Amarok'sFang.org. Link will be in the description. Join us, party up with us, and enjoy the verse. Give me a subscribe, a like, and throw a comment in there for your chance at the giveaway with the Gray Cat Rock. And follow me on Twitch. The link will also be down there as well. And thank you again for your support, and have a wonderful night.